A pair of 1,000 yuan yoga pants was recently reported to possibly contain forever chemicals, PFAS. These substances are linked to hormonal disruption, infertility, cancer, and other health risks. If a premium brand that preaches wellness might be hiding health hazards behind its products, can the middle-class myth of those yoga pants still hold up? This is not the first time Lululemon has found itself in the eye of a storm. From founder controversies to quality control scandals, from capital market bearishness to a siege of competitors, this once entry ticket for middle-class women's sportswear brand is facing an unprecedented crisis of trust. Yet at the same time, people are still lining up at its stores. Its leggings remain a traffic magnet on Xiaohongshu and TikTok. On one hand, waves of doubt. On the other, feverish fandom. What makes Lululemon so special? How long can its moat hold? 1998, Vancouver, Canada. A middle-aged man named Chip Wilson made a bold decision. He had just sold the snowboard brand he founded and had a pocket full of cash. He wanted to find the next big wave. He noticed a small but growing trend. More and more women were taking yoga classes, yet they wore either dance leotards or cut-off t-shirts. No clothing was designed specifically for yoga. More importantly, these women were mostly well-educated, had stable incomes, and valued health and quality of life. They weren't passive consumers. They actively sought brands that represented their identity. Wilson called this group Supergirls. They didn't chase trends, they were the trends. So he opened a design studio that doubled as a yoga classroom in Vancouver's Kitsilano neighborhood. Wilson made a decision that countless brands would later imitate. Instead of advertising or using celebrity endorsements, he approached the most popular local yoga instructors, gave them free clothes, and invited them to participate in design discussions. Every pair of pants was tested and retested by dozens of instructors before hitting the market. This ambassador program later became the core weapon of Lululemon's community marketing. By 2000, Lululemon opened its first official store in Vancouver. The store wasn't just a place to sell clothes. It hosted free yoga classes, health talks, and even meditation workshops. The store became a community hub. Customers weren't just shopping, they were joining a circle of identity. This cult-like user loyalty allowed Lululemon to build word of mouth among North American women without relying on traditional advertising. In 2007, Lululemon went public on NASDAQ, and its stock soared. Wall Street finally realized that this seemingly niche company was devouring a huge market: women's sportswear. Giants like Nike and Adidas didn't begin to seriously focus on this segment until the mid to late 2010s. Lululemon had seized the lead within a decade. On the product side, the moat was equally strong. Lululemon spent years developing its proprietary Luon fabric, a nylon liquor blend that combined the soft touch of cotton with the support and moisture wicking of synthetics, solving the most embarrassing problem of yoga pants: becoming semi-transparent when squatting. Later, it launched other patented fabrics: Nulu for the Align series, Ultra Soft, Everlux, Quick Drying, Luxtreme, Shaping Support. Each series corresponds to different sports scenarios and body needs. This obsessive attention to detail makes it hard for customers to leave once they've tried Lululemon. By fiscal 2025, Lululemon reported net revenue of 11.1 billion Tedney, 800 directly owned stores worldwide. In the Chinese market, net revenue grew 11.1 billion Tedney, 800 directly owned stores worldwide. In the Chinese market, net revenue grew to 91.755 billion, with more than 170 direct-run stores, making China the brand's second largest market after North America. From a small shop in Vancouver to a $10 billion empire, Lululemon completed a textbook brand rise in just over 2 decades. But high places are cold. Behind every myth lie cracks. The fiscal 2025 earnings report showed clear signs of slowing growth. The Americas region saw net revenue decline 1% year-on-year. With a 4% drop in the fourth quarter, net profit fell 13%. What terrified investors most was the stock price. From an all-time high of 516.39 to around 516.39 to around 145.85, a 71.76% collapse that wiped out more than $35 billion in market value. The sportswear star once courted by capital is now being abandoned. At the same time, the escalating public feud between founder Chip Wilson and current management exposed internal brand conflicts for all to see. Wilson listed 5 sins in the media: stalled innovation, talent loss, crumbling brand positioning, over-reliance on discounting, and mediocre product design. He described his own creation as GA-pified, a once unique Lululemon turning into yet another bland mass-market brand. Management countered that Wilson had long been disconnected from daily operations and that his remarks were irresponsible. This war between founder and professional managers had no winners, only eroding brand trust. Quality problems kept piling up. In early 2026, the Get Low series of yoga pants received massive complaints for being too thin and prone to transparency. A user posted a video on Xiaohongshu showing the pants becoming see-through during squats. The product was pulled from shelves but resumed sales just 3 days later, without any convincing explanation from the brand. The Define jacket pilled severely after just one wear. Customer service refused an exchange, claiming pilling was a normal characteristic of the fabric, triggering a flood of negative reviews. A 2,500 yuan down jacket had its sleeves sewn backwards. After sales offered a token 20 yuan goodwill gesture. A hoodie was mocked for looking like prison wear. A dress arrived stained right out of the package. These are issues that even budget brands would struggle to tolerate, yet they repeatedly appear in a premium brand known for quality. Consumer patience is being worn down little by little. If internal issues might be addressed through management, external competition is a long-term threat Lululemon cannot escape. Competitors of different styles and strategies have swarmed in from all directions. At the high end, Alo Yoga, also from Los Angeles, shares a 63% customer overlap with Lululemon. Alo takes a Mio approach, with younger, more street-style designs targeting Gen Z. It takes yoga wear from the studio straight to nightclubs and music festivals, using a trendier visual language to attract young women. Alo's store design is extremely Instagram-friendly. Every corner is a photo opportunity, perfectly suited for social media. Vuori, also from California, is called the men's Lululemon. Starting with men's yoga pants, it focuses on the concept of everyday athletic leisure. Its understated, comfortable designs perfectly align with Silicon Valley's casual Friday culture and the work-from-home trend. Vuori's menswear is rapidly eating into the men's market that Lululemon had high hopes for. Despite Lululemon's popular ABC pants, men's revenue has consistently struggled to exceed 20%. Online, the British brand Gymshark has taken a completely different path. It doesn't rely on physical stores. Instead, it uses fitness influencers on Instagram and TikTok to drive massive word of mouth, growing from a student dorm room to global scale in record time. Gymshark has now achieved its 13th consecutive year of revenue growth, with prices half or even lower than Lululemon's, a strong lure for price-sensitive younger consumers. In China, competition is even fiercer. MAIA Active, owned by Anta, positions itself as designed for Asian women, adjusting the waist-hip ratio, length, and fabric stiffness to Asian body types, with prices between 299 and 899 yuan, a precise strike into Lululemon's price vacuum. Meanwhile, on major e-commerce platforms, dupes priced at 100,300 yuan are just a click away, copying Lululemon's fit and design and stealing price-sensitive customers at a tenth of the price. One detail cannot be ignored. These competitors are rising much faster than Lululemon did. Social media and live streaming e-commerce have dramatically shortened the path from 0 to 1. The brand equity Lululemon took a decade to build. The newcomers may match in just 3 years. In April 2026, a report from an independent U.S. research institute exploded on social media. It claimed that high concentrations of PFAS had been detected in several Lululemon yoga pants. PFAS, per and polyfluoroalkyl substances, are known as forever chemicals because they are extremely difficult to break down in the environment and the human body. Numerous epidemiological studies have linked PFAS exposure to thyroid disease, high cholesterol, ulcerative colitis, kidney cancer, and testicular cancer. Even more alarming, PFAS can be absorbed through skin contact, and yoga pants come into extensive, long-term contact with the skin during exercise. The day the report was released, Lululemon's official social media comments sections were flooded with questions. I spend thousands of yuan a year on your pants, and you tell me they might cause cancer? Is this your promise of pure, healthy, sustainable? Some customers even posted photos of already opened products, asking how to return them. Lululemon responded quickly, issuing a statement that all products meet the world's strictest safety standards and that the PFAS test results are within industry safety limits. But the brand did not directly answer the question consumers most wanted to ask. Why use PFAS in the first place? What function does it serve? Are there completely PFAS-free alternatives? In fact, PFAS are often used as water repellent and stain repellent coatings in outdoor and sportswear. Lululemon is not the only brand that uses them. But the heart of the issue is that Lululemon has deeply tied its brand image to a healthy lifestyle. When customers buy its products, they are not just seeking comfort and good looks. They are seeking being good to themselves. When that good might hide health risks, the entire brand narrative cracks. Surprisingly, physical stores did not see a cliff-like drop in foot traffic on the day of the scandal. In core city stores in Chengdu, Hangzhou, Shanghai, and elsewhere, customers still came in to try on and buy. The online outrage did not fully translate into actual boycotts. This was partly because the brand's hurried statement eased some panic, and partly because Lululemon's long-built user loyalty acted as a short-term trust buffer. Customers wanted to believe, this can't be true. If there really were a problem, it would have been recalled. But this trust is fragile. If another independent test report appears, if another authoritative body raises doubts, that buffer will shatter. The PFAS storm will eventually pass, but the psychological shadow it casts will not easily fade. Faced with both internal and external threats, Lululemon is not standing still. In recent years, the brand has launched multi-pronged strategic moves. First, product line expansion. Lululemon is no longer just a yoga pant brand. It now offers a full men's line, footwear, accessories, and even beauty and personal care products. Among men's items, the ABC pant, comfortable enough for the office yet suitable for leisure, became a hit during the work-from-home era. Men's revenue currently accounts for about 17% of total sales, with management targeting over 30% in the coming years. In footwear, the Blissfeel running shoe launched in 2022, followed by the Strongfeel training shoe and the Restfeel recovery slide. While not yet mainstream blockbusters, they represent Lululemon's attempt to expand from what you wear on your body to what you wear on your feet. Second, investment in technology. In 2020, Lululemon acquired the home fitness mirror brand Mirror for $500 million, aiming to build a hardware plus software plus content in-home fitness ecosystem. Users could follow live classes in front of the mirror at home, seeing both their own movements and real-time feedback from instructors. The acquisition was seen at the time as a landmark step in Lululemon's transition from an apparel brand to a lifestyle platform. However, Mirror's performance has since been bumpy. It underwent organizational adjustments and layoffs in 2022 and 2023, and some analysts even suggested it be spun off. This shows that the barriers to hardware technology are far higher than apparel, and Lululemon's attempts to expand beyond its core competencies have not been easy. Third, globalization. Management has explicitly stated its goal to quadruple international revenue by 2026, with a focus on Europe and China. In China, Lululemon has already built its largest overseas market after North America. Unlike the Community Plus ambassador strategy in North America, in China, Lululemon relies more on Zhiahongsha seating, KOL live streams, and top influencers like Li Jieqi. The brand has also actively collaborated with local designers for limited editions to cater to Chinese consumer tastes. Currently, China's countertrend growth is the brightest spot in Lululemon's earnings. Yet competition there is fierce and local brands are applying increasing pressure. Finally, and most crucially, a return to brand essence. In late 2025, Lululemon appointed a new product director from Nike's senior design team. Insiders say the company will once again focus on fabric innovation and fit optimization, planning to launch new proprietary fabrics that will fully solve issues of transparency, pilling, and fading. At the same time, the ambassador program is being upgraded, moving from simply free clothes to deep involvement in co-creation, even inviting ambassadors into the headquarters labs to experience new fabric developments firsthand. But the question remains, how wide is the window of time? How much consumer patience is left? How long will Wall Street wait? Lululemon's rise is a classic business case in insight, positioning, and user engagement. It shows that even in a red ocean crowded with giants, exponential growth is possible through segmenting consumers, creating new categories, and building community identity. Its success was no accident. But every brand has its cycle. When the founder leaves, when the organization grows large, when capital pressures overshadow the original product-first spirit, an once impregnable moat can become fragile overnight. The PFAS issue, quality control failures, competitive siege, these are not isolated incidents, but different facets of the same deeper crisis. Brand premium is eroding, and a new source of premium has not yet been built. Consumers are willing to pay 1,000 yuan for a pair of yoga pants not because the fabric cost is anywhere near that, but because the pants represent a lifestyle they aspire to: disciplined, healthy, refined, tasteful. Once that association is broken, once customers begin to wonder, what is the real difference between these and the 100 yuan pair in my closet? Lululemon's sky-high valuation loses its foundation. $11.1 billion in revenue for fiscal 2025 is still dazzling. The 170 stores in China still have queues. But beneath the surface prosperity, undercurrents run strong. Lululemon stands at a historic crossroads. To the left, return to its roots, using more extreme technology, stricter quality control, and more honest communication to win back user trust. That is the harder road, requiring tolerance of short-term profit pressure and Wall Street scorn. To the right, continue compromising with capital, discounting, broadening the customer base, accelerating store openings, maintaining growth on paper, while the brand's core empties out, eventually becoming just another forgotten mass brand. Chip Wilson's allure-nothing words still echo. As long as I live, I will make the best yoga pants in the world. Today, the founder is long gone. The management team has turned over several times. The pants are still there. But do the people making them still possess the original obsession? Perhaps the answer lies in the memory of that small Vancouver shop that doubled as a yoga classroom. In those days, there were no earnings pressures, no market cap anxiety, just a group of yoga instructors and designers huddled together, repeatedly tweaking the waistline, length, and gusset angle of a pair of pants until the person wearing them couldn't help but smile. That smile was the origin of everything Lululemon built. As long as it can still make wearers smile, it still has a chance. But if one day those pants become just a logo without a smile, then Lululemon's story will truly have turned the page.